Today is day 14 of Advent of Cyber, and today's challenge is called I'm Dreaming of Secure Web Apps. Elf McSkitty was sipping her coffee when she saw on her calendar that it was time to review the web application security. An internal web application is being developed to be used internally and managed as a cybersecurity team. She calls Elf Exploit McRed and asks him to check the in-development web application for common vulnerabilities. Elf Exploit McRed discovers that the local web application suffers from an insecure direct object references vulnerability. So the learning objectives for this challenge are that you'll learn about web applications, what OWASP Top 10 is, and insecure direct object references. So a web application is a piece of software that we can use via a web browser. Unlike computer programs and smartphone applications, a web application does not require any installation on the user's system to make use of it. The use of a web application, we only need a web browser, such as Firefox, Edge, Chrome, Safari. There are many advantages for the user. Because it only needs a web browser, a user can access a web application from a Microsoft system, a Mac computer, or a Linux system. If the user can use a modern web browser, they can access the web application. They will be able to see the same interface and enjoy a very similar experience even with different systems. They can even access the same web application from a web browser on their smartphone, and the experience would only be affected by the screen size what it can hold. Moreover, there are many advantages for the software developer. Instead of developing an application for macOS, and then another one for Windows, and a third one for Chrome OS, they only need to build one web application and ensure that it's compatible with the different modern browsers. The following are some examples of popular web applications. So, webmails, online shopping, online banking, and online office suites. As web technologies advance, the number and types of web applications keep increasing. So when discussing web applications, it is essential to mention database systems. Many web applications need to access vast amounts of data. Even the most basic online shopping web application requires saving information about available products, customer details, and purchases. We must find a solution to hold such information and to read from and write to the existing data efficiently. The answer lies in using a database system. There are two popular database models. Relational databases stores the data in tables. Tables can share information, so consider the basic example of the three tables: products, customer details, and purchases. The purchases table would use information from the products table. Then there are non-relational databases. It is a database that does not use tables. It might store the data in documents and graph nodes among other types. Generally speaking, a web application needs to constantly query the data. For example, to search for information, add new records, or update existing ones. Access control. Consider the case where you are using an online shop as a customer. After logging in successfully, you should be able to browse the available products and check products, details, and prices, among other things. Depending on the online shop, you might be able to add a question or a review about the product. However, as a customer, you should not be able to change the price or details. That's due to access control. Access control is a security element that determines who can access certain information and resources. After authentication, which was covered in day 5, access control enforces the appropriate access level. In the online shopping example, a vendor should be able to update the prices or descriptions of their products. However, they should not be able to modify the information related to other vendors. A customer, on the other hand, should be able to view but not be able to alter the data. However, due to various programming or design mistakes, access control is sometimes not appropriately imposed. The OWASP was established to improve software security. The OWASP Top 10 list aims to raise awareness regarding common security issues that plague web applications. This list would help software developers avoid common mistakes to build more secure products. Other users, such as penetration testers and bug bounty hunters, can use the list to serve their purposes. Insecure direct object reference refers to the situation where a user can manipulate the input to bypass authorization due to poor access control. IDOR was the fourth on the OWASP Top 10 list in 2013, before it was published under Broken Access Control in 2017. To learn more about IDOR, consider the following examples. Let's say that user of ID 132 is directed to the following URL after logging into the system. So they got the URL here, and then there's the user ID equals 132. However, they soon discover that they can browse other users' profiles by changing the user ID from 132 to other values expected to match existing users' IDs. Although the system should deny them access to the new URL due to the lack of authorization, IDOR vulnerability will let the user display such unauthorized pages. In the figure below, the user managed to access the user's account page with the ID 101, which in here is Elf McSkitty, who has the title of Chief Information Security Officer. Consider the example where requesting an invoice generates a link similar to this. So you got the link, and you're accessing invoice and it's downloading invoice number 115. To test the vulnerabilities, one would replace 115 with another number, as shown in the image below. The system is vulnerable if it lets them access the other users' invoices. The impact of an IDOR vulnerability might let you reset the password of another user. For instance, after logging in, a malicious user might start with the URL to change their password and replace their username with that of another user. For example, the attacker who would replace their username Yeti in the URL. So the URL account change password equals Yeti, with another valid username and attempt to change their password shown in the figure below, so changing that to C Handle, exploiting an IDOR vulnerability. I'm going to start the attack box and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so it's loaded now. So for this challenge you need to click both the start the attack box at the top and also start machine for the actual challenge. So let's continue. So with the attack box we will go to Firefox and we will then go to the address listed there. So that is http://10.10.10.10.61. This will be the IP address of your machine. So, and then port 8080. So on our login form here, and it's telling us to type in the credentials for McSkitty with the password of devtest. So we can see it's taken us to the page here, but in the URL we can see it's users/101. So after doing some tests, ElfExploitMcRed was able to find multiple IDOR vulnerabilities. After logging in, a user can access the profile pages of other users. Moreover, files can be accessed by guessing their sequential number. So what is the office number of ElfPivotMcRed? So let's try changing this number here. See 102. That's ElfLogMcBlue. Let's try 103. Maybe we'll try 100. Okay, there's no user for that. So we will go to 104. We will keep increasing this number until we find ElfPivotMcRed like we did just then. And the office number is 134. Not only profile pages, but also stored images are vulnerable. Start with a URL of a valid profile image. What is the hidden flag? So I assume it means doing this, and copy image location, and then we'll open it from here. Okay, let's see what the hint is. So after logging in, click on the profile image, copy the image address, and try incrementing or decrementing the number by 101. Let's try 100. And right there, we've got the flag. So THM, close the door. Alright, so that is day 14 of Advent of Cyber completed. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe.